Of us had Harper plus 3,800 for 2 home runs that day.
Oh, enough with the betting.
I didn't.
It's the Red October Rally. We're at Stateside Live at the Sports Complex in South Philly. With us, not just Ruben Amaro, Tom McCarthy, both from The Call, NBC Sports Philly.
The dream team.
Pleasure to have you both at the same time.
Thanks for having us. I should have worn my hat, Ruben, your podcast hat.
That's okay.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
Yes,
I
that's
like your head.
My head got burnt today over
Oh,
the
no.
ballpark, by the way.
Yeah.
The script's starting already, huh? Yeah. Yeah.
You know, now that I have you both here,
Yeah.
Jack presents as the baseball expert on our show.
Really?
Yeah.
Presents. He
So,
presents.
both of you,
Oh, here we go.
what is your level of respect for Jack's baseball acumen and his knowledge?
Rube is already laughing.
Yeah. Well, Rube first.
Well, I've had some exchanges with Jack at
Yeah.
times. We've had some differences of opinion, some text exchanges from time to time. No, Jack, listen, the beauty of Jack is that he loves baseball, and he lives and dies with every pitch, which I absolutely love about him. And he's very knowledgeable.
Okay, yeah, we need
No,
to
no,
get
he's
that.
very-
We all
he's
know
very-
he loves baseball.
He's very knowledgeable. I don't
Okay.
agree with everything that he says, but that's what makes the world
I
go
thought he
round,
was
right?
a hockey guy. I didn't even know he was a baseball guy.
Jackie, they started Jackie Bucks. That was a bit, though. That was a bit.
So, I don't know if you know this, but we do occasionally play clips of the broadcast on our show. And I kind of want to know, we're going to play a few, and I want to know, T-Mac, when you hear this, what is going through your head, and then second, we'll get to Ruben over here, what is going through his. So these are some of our more regular clips that we played on the show. Buzz, why don't you hit the first one?
It was the hardest wood I had ever touched.
I knew that one was going to be.
Had to be coming.
Yeah, that's about Pete Rose's bat.
That's it. That's correct. That was
Mizuno,
Pete
right?
Rose's
It
bat.
was
That's
the
exactly
hardest
right.
wood I ever touched.
That's exactly
Without
right.
question.
You know what I do in that case?
Yep.
Here's the 0-1 pitch.
Well, that's my favorite. Rube will say it, and T-Mac will be like, all right, the 2-1 count. It's perfect.
It goes in, and I'm like, okay, how do we get off this one?
Yep. Buzz?
So you do hear it.
Yeah, you hear it?
Oh, I hear it.
Okay, all right. Buzz, go ahead.
After last night's game, he comes sauntering in. He's like, "Where's my headset?"
No, wait a minute.
He was the most rested. And he's the only one that was.
Hold on, he did not saunter. He sprinted.
Oh well, I didn't see the sprint part.
He sprinted disheveled
With vigor.
with like TV light sweat on his
Really?
forehead.
Yes. I came in
absolutely.
hard and fast.
Yeah, you did.
That was on the radio.
That's Friday
Oh,
Night
yeah,
Roundtable.
that was Friday night.
Yeah, but you can say that on Friday Night Roundtable.
Of course
Yeah,
you can.
after 10
Baseball
p.m.
after dark.
it's
Well
all
after
good.
11.
Right.
All right, I think we have a couple more. Buzz?
I don't know what happened during the president's race. I'm not sure what
What the theme was?
I don't know what the theme was.
I think it's ladies' night. That might have something to do with it. Is it ladies' night?
Well, it is ladies' night, yes, but I don't know. I just don't know.
Why the man dressed up as a lady was banging on presidents and knocking them out with a chair?
Ruben, what are you doing?
I have things to say. I have things to express.
Obviously, things pent up.
Buzz, do we have one more?
I always like to use the knob to work against, and I used to like to have the whole hand on it. A lot of guys have their pinky off of it. I'm not sure why. I think it's a preference.
I think that was on our end.
We were talking about holding the bat.
Yeah. Oh, is that what it is? Is that what
Hold the knob, yes.
Some guys like their pinky off.
It's personal
I'm
preference.
not, I'm not sure if it's Ruben that has the problem here.
Great point.
So,
We have like a 10-year-old mind.
yeah. This is what we get paid to do. Speaking of what you guys get paid to do, you're not only telling people what happens in the game, you're telling a story, right? And not only every game has a story, but every season, I think, has a story too. If I were to ask you guys so far, if you were to tell the story of this season, what has this season been about, do you think? What is the narrative arc of this story so far?
I think part of it is they've kind of found their way, and what I mean by that is that they've adjusted the lineup. Turner's leading off now instead of Schwarber, even though You know, they had a .534 winning percentage with Schwarber as the leadoff hitter for these last couple of years. I think that the addition of Luzardo and the evolution of Sanchez, this team is sort of evolved into a better version of what they were the last 2 years. That's my thought.
Yeah, I totally agree, and I think that they've talked a lot about. It's really difficult to have old dogs learn new tricks, but the fact that guy like Trey Turner goes from being one of the worst defensive shortstops to maybe one of the better defensive shortstops in the game, and you see a guy like Kyle Schwarber go from being a 190 hitter to a 250 hitter with all the production. When you have older players making those sort of adjustments, a guy like Christopher Sanchez adjusting and becoming the player he's become, I think when you have old dogs doing new tricks and being able to become better and better players, I think that sort of sets the tone for the rest of the team. And I just see a lot of growth during the course of the season, and not just by young players like Stott and Marsh, but guys who are veterans as well.
Yeah.
Well, that was the big question after last year. You know, we kept asking each other, you would talk to Chase. They chase too much, but not all of them. A lot of the guys are over 30. Mm-hmm. Are they at a point in their career where not only do they have the will to get there, but can they, you know? And I think Trey has been, almost the poster boy for the evolution of the team, because I think he changed the most. And him being at the top of the lineup, I think it's a good avatar for the rest of the team.
Well, it's better than I thought it was going to be, because it does give Schwarber and Harper protection together instead of them, Schwarber being. And I was a proponent of having Schwarber lead off. I thought, again, that winning percentage, it told the story. But I think that moving Trey to the leadoff spot has paid dividends for this team. And I think he has been the guy that's improved the most. But I also think Schwarber's evolution against left-handers is also one of those things that, he's 30 years old, or 32 years old, 33 years old, and he's changed his approach against left-handers, and it was a huge impact this year.
And you have to give him a lot of credit, because a guy like Turner, you had Topper basically say, listen, we don't need you to hit home runs. We need you to be the Trey Turner that is best for you and us. To get on base, to score runs, to use your legs, to steal some bases, to get hits, and to score runs. And that's exactly what he's done. And you have to give that guy a lot of credit, because he could just say, okay, Topper, whatever, I'm going to go play my game. But he made those adjustments, and he's been one of the most productive players in the game, especially obviously when he's healthy. So you got to give him credit for that.
Although it was funny when he didn't hit a home run at Citizens Bank Park.
It was very funny.
It was
it was almost
crazy.
The most crazy thing.
It's a good bit. Rube, what's the key to beating the Dodgers?
I think you got to somehow get deep into their bullpen one way or another. I think you're hopeful that the guys like Snell and Ohtani obviously is starting tomorrow. You have to try to get into the bullpen and get him to work. And you're hopeful that he doesn't throw a ton of strikes with his breaking stuff, because he throws 7 different pitches, and you just have to hope that he's not super sharp, because if he is, it's going to be a tough go.
It's going to take everyone in this lineup to beat the Dodgers, right?
Yes.
Correct.
So, T-Mac and Rube, even you when you call games, but T-Mac, I know you watched these guys pretty much from the start to the finish. Watching the bottom of this lineup develop, the Stotts, Brandon Marsh, what he's done since April. He went 0 for April, and then he's been on fire ever since. And then adding a guy like Bader. Would you say one of the sort of hidden strengths of the team could be the bottom of their lineup?
I think it has to be. I think it has to be, because I believe that this bottom of the lineup is better than the Dodgers' bottom of the lineup. I think if you get through 1 through 4 with the Dodgers, although it didn't really work for the Reds, worked that, with the double down the left field line and then the bunt single, whatever it was, they called it. I think our bottom of the order is better than their bottom of the order. So if you match them up, I believe that this is where we have an advantage. Here, and I know this sounds strange, but also in the bullpen, too.
What's funny is everyone could have done all of these things right. Trey does what he does, Schwarber does what he does, but if Dombrowski doesn't trade for Duran and Bader, who knows where they are.
Totally agree.
Right now, and it's just so funny to think they tried to make the move for Crochet last year. It doesn't happen, and just the difference between somebody accepting a deal and not accepting a deal can change the entire course of the rest of the season.
Don't I know?
Well, and apparently that somebody else was already in on Durant. I mean, it was at the last minute that they decided.
Seattle, I believe.
Well, and it was at the last minute they decided, you know what, we like Taib, because they wanted Aiden Miller. So the Twins did, which I don't blame them. But then they saw, you know what, we'll take Taib. Like Taib's going to be a really good player, I think.
Let me just say this: for them to not have traded Painter, Miller, or Crawford in that deal, and getting Duran is insane.
Right.
I mean, it is absolutely brilliant, and it speaks to a lot of things with the Phillies organization. But that was a hell of a deal.
Rube, back in 2010, right when you guys are facing the Giants, and they have Javi Lopez coming out of the bullpen. In Game 1, Charlie decided to leave Chase and Ryan back to back.
Right.
Game 2, he split them up. Would you stick with it early in the series, or as it goes on, would you consider splitting up Schwarber and Harper, because they do have Tanner Scott, they do have Vezina, they can bring Kershaw, they can bring Dreyer? Where do you kind of stand on that?
I actually wrote down a couple of different lineups because I put myself in that position, and I actually did split them up against left-handers.
Really?
I did split them up against left-handers, not against righties, but I did split them up against lefties with Schwarber hitting in the 4-hole. And, I mean, that's just in my head. That's not going to happen, I don't think. I trust Topper because I think he'll make the right decisions. But, listen, the bottom line is this. If they make mistakes and they capitalize on those mistakes, then they'll be fine. If they don't make mistakes and they swing through a lot of these breaking pitches off the plate, then it's going to be troublesome. It's as simple as that.
Jesus Luzardo will join us in the next 10 minutes or so. Luzardo. We haven't talked about the amazing...
It's a good moment by us.
It's amazing. So, Ruben's been here since 3:30. T-Mac, you joined at 4. We haven't mentioned Bryce Harper's name once, which is pretty amazing considering he is the face of the Philadelphia Phillies. He had a good year. It wasn't a great. There wasn't a time during this year where he really heated up and he felt like he was carrying the team. Where do you think Bryce is in his trajectory as a player, like in his career? It's really hard to figure. Is he this player for the next 2 or 3 years? Is the Bryce maybe from a couple of years ago? Is that still in him? Where do you see Bryce in his career trajectory?
I still see the old Bryce in him. I really do, and I think, these moments. I mean, he lives for these moments of being in the postseason. So I'm excited to see what he does. I believe that the other Bryce is still there. The one that'll hit 300, the one that'll hit 35 home runs, the one that'll drive in, close to 100 RBIs. I think it's there. I just think it stopped and started this year a few times. I think injuries plagued. I think that there were times where he was more banged up than he probably let on that he was banged up.
I mean, I don't know him implicitly enough to say what's going on in his head, but my feeling is, and it's just a feeling, is that as I watch him and watch Bryce Harper a lot over the last few years, I just feel like he's so focused on this time of the season and winning a ring that all the other stuff, whatever happened, 162 games ago, I don't think that matters to him. I think what matters to him right now is to put one of these on his finger, and I think that's where his focus is, and that's sort of the feeling that I get out of just having watched him play over the last several years.
Yeah, it reminds me of 22. The season didn't go the way he wanted it. He was banged up in 22 a lot.
We have Zeus on the phone.
There you go.
So joining us right now let's see if I get it. Well, sorry. Joining us right now, Jesus Luzardo. Thank you for joining us, Zeus.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
So we actually interviewed you in Clearwater during spring training, and here we are talking to you as you gear up for the playoffs. Just a general question, what has it been like playing in Philadelphia, playing for the Phillies this season?
It's been great. I mean, I think it exceeded my expectations of, fans coming every single night, selling it out. It didn't matter if it was rain or shine or midweek or weekend. The fans were always there for us, and the group of guys was, even better than I expected. It's been awesome. I've had a great time, and my family's really enjoyed it. Every time they come up to see me, and I've just loved it. It's felt like home.
One of my favorite parts about watching you this year is how you kind of feed off the crowd. Is that accurate? And can you just not wait to be able to pitch in front of this postseason crowd?
Yeah, even when it's on the road, I feel like you almost take on the villain aspect of it, so you feed into that crowd. But playing at home is definitely a different animal. I think that everyone here in this clubhouse rallies around. When you see the fans get going, and you can almost feel the energy shift. As they get going and as they get more and more excited. So I'm super excited to get a chance to pitch in front of this crowd, hopefully.
Can that be a negative sometimes? The feeding off the crowd, maybe getting too amped. How do you balance using that energy versus that energy sort of pushing you to a place where you don't want to be?
Yeah, definitely. I think it could at times, if you don't know how to control it, it could almost amp you up a little too much. So I think, like you said, there's a fine line, a good balance of using it to your advantage and allowing that to bring out the best in you, but at the same time staying under control and not trying to do more than what you need to do.
Jesus Luzardo with us. So you've had, in the past, have had some injury issues, but this season have thrown a ton of innings, and not just thrown a lot of innings, but actually from the way we look at it, seems like you've gotten stronger as the year has gone on. What have you done, I guess, from a physical perspective to get here, and how do you feel at this point?
Yeah, a lot of work in the off season, and a lot of credit to our training staff and our strength staff here as well. Just doing such a good job of, kind of the management of the workload in between starts, and just priming us to get ready as ready as possible every fifth day. And I feel great now. I feel like you kind of said, I feel better now than I did early on in the year, and I just feel like my body is now accustomed to the workload, and I just, it almost feels free and easy for me on the mound. So I'm thankful for that. But yeah, definitely a lot of work, a lot of preparation, and a lot of focus on recovery more than anything.
How have you grown as a pitcher this year, and how has Caleb Cotham helped you do that?
Yeah, I think Caleb, talking to some of the other, veterans around here, Ty, Nola, Wheeler, even JT and Marchand, just like the whole group has helped me. I've taken my lumps and bumps definitely here and there, and I think being able to bounce back from that and just understanding that sometimes it's going to happen, but just, execution is king when you're on the mound, and understanding that the next pitch is the most important pitch. So I think that just keeping a level head and just keep pushing forward, that at the end of the day, trusting my stuff in the zone, and when I'm in the zone and letting it play and using, the correct parts of the zone, that everything's going to work out.
Was there a mentality shift for you, like in the middle of the season? Because you come out unbelievable first 10 starts, and the ERA was right around 2. You had the two crazy, 20 runs in 2 innings, and then really the last 7 starts, you kind of just there was an uptick in intensity, and almost, he said, bleep it in a way. Was there a moment for you this season where it just clicked and you said, I'm just going to let it all out there?
Yeah, definitely. I think I've said it before. Just the straw that broke the camel's back for me was the Red Sox game. I was cruising through 5, get out, and then just kind of falls apart on me in the 6th. And it was all, my own doing. Just the walks, the self-inflicted, injuries on my own part. And I think that after that game, it really got under my skin for the fact that, it was my own doing, like I said. And I had to just get back to what makes me good and stop, thinking about so many other things when I'm on the mound. And I feel like when I just went out there and stayed aggressive and just focused on the next pitch, like I said earlier, I think that that's when I really, it kind of turned for me.
Interesting, Jesus. We know you're going to be a starter at some point in this first series. But I'm wondering, Rob Thompson, it may be one of these all hands on deck sort of things coming through these first few games. And I'm wondering your mindset if asked to come out of the bullpen before that start. Is that something you've thought about and you would be prepared to do?
Yeah, I mean, I've thought about all the possible scenarios, and I'm, like I've said in the past, I'm ready to go for whatever. I feel, confident, either a starting role or a bullpen role or whatever they need me to do, I'm ready to do. I've done, the bullpen in the past, and I felt good from that position. So, like I said, I think it's all hands on deck. At this point in the playoffs, we just have one goal, which is to win a World Series. So whatever it takes for me.
It seems like Duran and Bader coming at the trade deadline added some juice to the team. We see what they do on the field, but how have those guys integrated themselves within the team off the field in the clubhouse?
Yeah, they've been great. I mean, Duran is awesome. He's you see him throwing 102, 103 and blowing guys away, and he's really nice, kind of pretty quiet, awesome dude in the clubhouse, and it's funny to see. He's a great addition, and Bader's also, we like to call him a gift. I mean, he's just a ray of sunshine for the team. He always comes in, has a lot of energy, always, uplifting, and, keeps it light, but also at the same time knows when to turn it on. So they've been great additions for us, on the field and off the field as well.
Bader seems like a character.
Oh yeah, he's awesome. He's got a good personality to him. He's full of confidence, and he is who he is authentically. And I think that that's what makes him so great. That what you see is what you get, and I think we all love that about him.
All right, Jesus. Well, so happy. When we talked to you at the beginning of the year, we were also hopeful that you would have a great season. But I think you've exceeded all of our expectations, and the team has as well. And you have a tough opponent ahead of you, but we've all got faith in you. So hopefully you get through the Dodgers and you bring us a parade here in Philadelphia. Good luck.
I appreciate it. Yeah, thank you guys. That's
all
the
right.
goal. So hopefully we'll bring that to you guys. So thank you guys again.
All right, thanks. Thank you, Jesus. There he is, Jesus Luzardo.
Yeah, he's a good kid, man.
Yeah, it was good.
He's such a good. He actually plays for my brother's team, or is part of my brother's team in Venezuela, in Maracaibo, Venezuela. He's with the Águilas del Zulia. They said the first time they met him, they actually did a photo shoot at my ex's house in Parkland, right outside near his home.
Got a lot going
He
on.
said he was. He said he was an awesome. Yeah, I got a lot going on. He said they said that he was one of the most gentlemanly kids they've ever met. So that's awesome.
Yeah, he and his family raised almost $50,000 for the Boys and Girls Club this year with the strikeouts that he accumulated, but also the food truck that he had out here a couple weeks ago. Pretty cool.
And he's put together pretty good.
Yeah.
I still can't stop thinking about it.
Yeah, you saw he was wearing a sleeveless T-shirt when we interviewed him in Clearwater. You should have seen Ike. He was just
Still got the picture.
glaring.
He had some pipes.
Is that a further discussion?
We're just being honest. We're just honest and free. We're
maybe on the
comfortable.
round table. I think maybe on the round
That's a
table.
round table.
Honest, free, and comfortable. That's what the show is.